All right. Crabby and cantankerous after her almost lethal lightning strike in 1994, she can usually be found locked inside unisex bathrooms talking to the hand dryers or verbally berating librarians. She enjoys puffy stickers, Hello Kitty school supplies, and earthworms. Please do not yell too loudly, as she has several metal plates in her head, and when they vibrate too much, she forgets who she is for half an hour. Please welcome Susie Lou-Hoo Torrence.
His former career as the genie in Aladdin's lamp ended once he was set free upon the Arabian Nights. Since then, he's fostered his ability to create something out of nothing by designing women's shoes made solely out of styrofoam and hot glue. You can catch him Monday nights on QVC, where he helps women all over Florida look fresh and stylish. Please welcome Christopher, I Can Create a Whole New World, Thomas. Okay, music can go up.
On your shoulders, man. Like, all right, here we go. All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Scientists still can't figure out time travel, but I tell you, the artists of the world already have it figured out. Because all you have to do is put on Nora Jones, and as she sings, "Come Away With Me," I tell you, I am transported back to the first time I kissed my wife. And I'll also tell you that the first time I held my baby in my arms, there was a song playing in the background. If I hear it, boom, time travel. I'm there again as if seeing her face for the first time. The truth is that the arts elevate us to a higher level of experience, of understanding the world around us. Imagine with me for a moment, unless you're a scientist, because scientists say it's against their rules. Scientists say that the study of science is limited to the study of the world around us, the known world. Whereas in the arts, we are not limited. We explore the study of what's known and what's known here. In fact, we study the unknown. We're all about imagination. While some of you might have played with mad scientist kits growing up, I can guarantee that all of you in this room all play variations of the same game, pretend. Because no one wants to be limited by science. We want to be born to explore the world. So, let's hear it for the collection of artists in this room. Let's hear it for the drama kids, the actors, and the techies, who learn about seeing things from a different perspective. Let's hear it for the photographers, painters, graphic artists, for the dancers with their tombés and rondejams. Let's hear it for the jewelry makers, the fashion designers, the comics, the Instagrammers with their artsy filters. Let's hear it for the comics, the choir band and orchestra kids who know that if you're passionate about something, you practice it every day. Let's hear it for the audiences who enjoy absorbing art, and for the kids who study the arts their entire lives so that one day they can teach the arts. Because teachers of the arts know two things. One, that art is not selfish. It is meant to be shared and given away. And that two, there is nothing more fulfilling than seeing a student shine to their truest self. There is no Bunsen burner that can ignite a fire within a student the way the studying the arts can, who, when given the chance, can light up an entire stage. And yet, arts programs across the country are being cut so that students can fill in bubble after bubble after bubble. Let's instead teach them to take risks, make mistakes, make discoveries, and where better to do that than in the arts? Students who study in the fine arts can be communicative, confident, poised problem solvers, and disciplined team players who can probably sing and dance for you too. Science might have given us marble, but Michelangelo gave us the David. Science gave us sound waves, but Beethoven gave us the Ode to Joy. Newton defined the laws of gravity. Adina Menzel showed us how to defy gravity. My science might have given me my body, but my soul is shaped by the arts. Atticus Finch teaches us that the greatest way to resolve conflict is to step into someone else's skin and walk around in it for a while. The world we live in is being pulled apart, and I think Atticus Finch wants the artists of the world, those who can empathize, who can connect, who can unite as a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people living round the world. You may say that I am a dreamer. Of course I am. I'm an artist. But I am not the only one. I cannot be the only one because I look around this room and I see a room full of artists, of imaginative explorers who have already gathered together, united because of the arts. This is to say that the arts are essential to our very way of life, to our future. Because as we are pulled apart, it is only those who can imagine beyond what's known that will unite us together so that the world can live as one. Thank you. She got scared.
I got so thirsty, I cried out some tears.
All right, though.
This message is brought to you by science, the internet, medicine, the atom, the space-time continuum. From Ben Franklin with the key and the kite. You see it, right? Let's first define our parameters. What kind of art are we talking about? Are we talking music? We in physics call that applied sound. Paintings, that's applied color mixing. Film, use lenses to capture and re-emit light from a series of momentary events. Dance, that's torque, leverage, moment of inertia. Theater, that's all things science, thank you. What constitutes art or science? Science is easily defined. It is a system. Strict rules must be adhered to or the work is rejected. There's a method to the masses. Art rests somewhere in our gut. It's so subjective in its nature that it can't even be categorized or defined in all cases. Science is universal. Art is individual. Science is life. It's objective truth. Art is subjective emotions. Science is the search to understand the world around you. Art is sharing perspective of the world around you. Art is anarchy. Science is society. Will art cure cancer, get us to the moon, solve our energy needs, feed us and give us shelter? Did the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel help us discover the stars? Would your art get noticed without the internet or the camera lens or the printing press? Could we even hear Christopher Thomas without a microphone? Could scientists have shared the structure of DNA without the artist's rendering? Science works in facts, whereas art works in fields, seemingly opposing forces, but this is like debating heads or tails. One without the other, what do we have? Art moves me, it makes me think and form questions. Science intrigues me and gives me a system to use to find answers to questions. Will science help us connect to our innermost emotions and help us share with others how we perceive the world? I'm not sure if I'm the right person for this debate. I'm non-committal and non-competitive. I spend my days in science, but my extracurricular time is spent in theater and dance and art and music endeavors. My comrade in debate is intelligent and eloquent and a rock star in front of a crowd. And this essay will likely suffer from the fact that I was quite busy over spring break. Shout out to New York City and to procrastination, whoops. Waiting for the airplane seems like a nice place to write. My artistically sleek and always technologically sound iPhone seems like the best medium for recording my thoughts. I just might commit to using any word spell check suggests because a bit of scientifically predictive algorithms just might do a better job of creative, persuasive writing than I'm capable of. This whole science versus art thing, how's it even categorized? It's not quite a spectrum. Is it a Venn diagram? Thank you, spell check. I'm sorry, but what really are we debating? Which is more important, more necessary, more valued? Which came first? Which will endure? Would you rather have no artists or no scientists? Which is more important in schools? Which one do we each hold closer to our heart or in the forefront of our minds? Which do we as a society admire most? Which one comes first alphabetically? Which one can solve the world's problems? The Golden Gate Bridge. Which is it? If a scientist isn't there to study it, is it still true? If only animals are left to observe our billboards, is it still art? Would you rather have no scientific skill or no set artistic abilities? If you would bring only one to a deserted island, which would you bring? If art fell in the forest, would anyone hear it? Could science detect it? Would anyone in this audience care? How long exactly is 4 minutes? Being a scientist, the fundamental questions and parameters are important to me, but this being Writers' Week, I feel incentive to get creative with the questions. I think I'll go with which one? I don't know, I think I've run out of time. My airplane's about to board. I hope the plane is pretty and airway aerodynamic, but mostly aerodynamic.
All right, so now you guys come to play. You vote by your round of applause. So, who is it? Mr. Thomas? Or is it Mrs. Torrence? It's Torrence! All right, give them both another round of applause. Well done. Great first battle.
All right, we are ready for round two. She wasn't always the fabulous diva we've come to know and love. She began her career in the film Titanic, where she played the heart of the ocean, a beautiful sparkling diamond fought lost in the sea's cold embrace, a part director James Cameron said could only be pulled off by someone, quote, of someone of pure spirit, boundless joy, and the ability to bake one heck of a raspberry pie. Please put your hands together for Katy Perry, Hyla. Before her career at LHS, she accomplished her dream of manufacturing top-of-the-line men's toupees made exclusively from farm-raised chihuahuas. Although she failed to make a single sale or find a customer, she made hundreds of men's wigs that remain on mannequins in her sad, dank basement, where you can still hear the pathetic chirping of those silly, bug-eyed, burrito-munching puppies. Follow your dreams, kids. Follow your dreams. Please give it up for Diane Legally Blonde Naslund.
I'm really nervous.
Wait till you sit in this thing, Hyla.
I just want you to go, no, I'm really nervous. Writing is not my forte, but I'm gonna give it a try. You're welcome. If bacon is wrong, I don't want to be right. And I know that I'm not the only one. When you Google bacon recipes, 32,100,000 recipes come up. Unlike a Google search for Kevin Bacon, where 0 recipes come up. That is because bacon is so versatile. There are so many ways that you can use bacon to enhance food. In my professional opinion, it makes everything taste better. I cannot say the same for Kevin Bacon. If I ask most of you who Kevin Bacon is, I guarantee that most of you have never heard of him. But how many of you have heard of bacon? That's just a silly question, because everyone has heard of bacon, because it's the preferred breakfast meat. Not only is bacon the preferred breakfast meat, but bacon makes everything more delicious. Bacon wrapped, bacon topped, and stuffed with bacon are my go-to dishes. Bacon adds depth to many of its dishes, unlike Kevin Bacon that does not add depth to anything. The only thing that bacon has in common with Kevin Bacon is that they are both old. Bacon has been around since the first millennium, AD. Kevin Bacon has been around since 1958. Bacon is delicious, it's salty, crispy yet tender, and satisfying. Kevin Bacon, while salty, is hardly satisfying. Even his most memorable film, Footloose, made in the 1980s, has recently been remade with more current actors. So it can be said that even America is over Kevin Bacon. Side note, unlike Kevin Bacon, real bacon has never been forbidden to dance in any town. Footloose is a part of American history, but what about bacon's history? Just a couple interesting tidbits about the most delicious food in the world. The word bacon comes from the French word bako and the German word bacon, which both mean back. How many of you have heard of the phrase, bringing home the bacon? This phrase comes from a church in Denmark, England, that offered men a side of bacon if they did not fight with their wives for 1 year and 1 day. A man who could bring home the bacon was highly esteemed in the community. You would not be highly esteemed in any but Miss Naslund's community if you brought home Kevin Bacon. Even though Kevin Bacon is in bacon commercials, I strongly believe that if you checked his fridge, it probably wouldn't have bacon in it.
If you come to my house, there's always bacon. Now, I've never had the opportunity to smell Kevin Bacon, but chances are that he can't hold a candle to the amazing aroma that bacon releases as it's cooked. Many of you know that I am the foods teacher here at LHS, and nothing brings down more students and teachers to visit my classroom than on the days that we're cooking bacon. Just ask Mr. Leone. Bacon excites me. It helps me get out of bed in the morning. It helps to fuel my body and gives me the energy to get through the day. Kevin Bacon puts me to sleep. The last film that I rented starring Kevin Bacon, Crazy Stupid Love, had me asleep on the couch in less than 20 minutes. Bacon is an internet darling, one of the first foods to ever go viral, spawning bacon-flavored lip balm, bacon-flavored salts, and even bacon-scented bath soaps. Kevin Bacon is simply washed up. Bacon is going to be around forever. It will continue to exist even when Kevin Bacon does not. The only thing that could put Kevin Bacon in the same category as bacon would be a statue of Kevin Bacon made out of bacon. A world without bacon is not a world that I want to live in. A BLT without the bacon is just a very sad sandwich. A world without Kevin Bacon is just a regular day for most of us. I rest my case.
I could just list all of the reasons why Kevin Bacon is better than bacon. He's not going to raise your cholesterol. You can watch him for more than 20 seconds without getting bored, and even vegans can enjoy him. But the best reason that Kevin Bacon is better than bacon, Kevin Bacon isn't dead. He's 57, so soon, but because he's still alive, I can thank him for all that he's done. Dear Kevin Bacon, thank you for the massive time suck that is the website oracleofbacon.org. Inspired by you, someone with way too much time created this addicting little fun activity based on the international phenomenon that is 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Weird Al Yankovic even wrote a song about you. I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows him. Supposedly, anyone in a movie or TV show is 6 degrees or fewer away from you, similar to how at any given time, each of us is fewer than 3 feet away from a spider. Anyway, so I can type in, say, Channing Tatum, and see that he was in the trap with Aisha Tyler, who was in death sentence with Kevin Bacon. So, 7 hours later, my eyes glazed over, spit crusting the corners of my mouth, I'm typing in Matthew McConaughey, Jennifer Lawrence, Michelle Obama, Guy Fieri, Ice Cube, Cat Williams, and I find out that even Shirley Temple, the long-dead, red-headed, curly-top dancer from the Good Ship Lollipop, is connected to him by only 2 degrees. If you really think about it, Kevin, you're connected somehow to all of us. I can feel you. Right here. Can you feel it? Can you feel that 79 film and movie credits that he has? Can you envision that sculpture made out of bacon, of Kevin Bacon, that sold on eBay for $280? You can feel it, right? Thanks, Kevin, for being a hair inspiration. Since Animal House in 1978, your hair has not changed at all. Neither has mine. It's just you, me, and Richard Simmons, baby, on our little island of Paul Mitchell and Aussie products, like bangs held together by Aquanet, standing tall against the world of hair creativity and yelling, "Screw you, Lady Gaga and Nicki Minaj. We like our hair how it is, and we've liked it that way for 38 years. It's been good to stand tall with you, Kevin. Thank you also for the full frontal nudity in Wild Things in 1998. It's not the image that I liked. That wasn't it. It was the double standard you pulled down like the Berlin Wall in Hollywood, making it no longer just women who were objectified by showing more of their body than necessary in order to earn a buck. Having had their breasts bared for decades while men remained fully clothed was barely in question until audiences inhaled a collective gasp of relief when you stepped out of that shower in a scene completely unnecessary to the plotline of the movie. A scene that female actors knew all too well for all too long. So to you and your courage, thanks. And finally, how could I not thank you for Footloose? I mean, it was a dance movie, which was really awesome. But you know what else was awesome? You single-handedly defeated the conservative Bible Belt, and you fought to bring kids a senior prom. And inevitably, at every school dance, that song, 32 years later, plays. And everyone, for 3 minutes and 48 glorious seconds, comes together in a sweaty, cheesy, ridiculous union and kicks off their Sunday shoes. It's a beautiful thing. And another beautiful thing, because of you and that movie, I asked for my first pair of cowboy boots when I was 14. And my dad, a cowboy himself, who fought really hard against closed-mindedness and to earn hard-earned money, bought me those boots. And although I no longer have my daddy, I still have those boots. Thanks, Kevin. All right, you're up. Who is it? Is it Miss Hyla? Or Miss Naslund? All right, I'm sorry, I think it's Hyla. Woo, good band, guys. All right, we got one more for you.
Sorry, that's me.
In this corner, standing at an impressive 5'11", weighing in at 220 pounds of twisted steel and rubber wheels, former UFC fighter with a record of 0-117, he's a collector of used Band-Aids. He likes to eat overripe apricots by the fireside while knitting socks from real alpaca. Please welcome Craig Casanova Schmidt. He came to LHS by piggybacking on an African swallow that migrated here through the Canadian Rockies. He loves strawberry ice cream, champagne, and bubble baths, as long as he can enjoy them with his 26 hairless cats and his cockatiel screamer. Put your hands together for Sean, the cat whisperer McCusker.
If terrorists or aliens or robots invaded Libertyville and you could choose one fictional character or a real person to call, who would it be? Would you dial 911? Or if you could, would you call the Avengers? Honestly, I'd call Deadpool. Because Deadpool would take out all those guys without any question. And you know what? You would call a fictional character too. And you'd be right to do so. Why? Because reality sucks. Reality's gonna let you down 9 times out of 10, kids. I'm sorry. In real life, the hostages get blown up, the FBI is clueless about the local serial killer, and the world's worst terrorists live in nice houses instead of dismal caves like they're supposed to. Okay, but in fiction, Spider-Man always beats Green Goblin. Every single time. Spidey wins. The end. See, the problem with reality is that it just keeps on going. But a story ends exactly where it's supposed to, when the good guys save the day. And that's it. The book closes, credits roll, the good guys leave the stage before they have a chance to screw up, and while we are still inspired. The reality is not the only thing that stinks. Real people stink too. Think of all the real-life heroes who have screwed up, and they've fallen victim to their own egos, or pride, or the desire for more money, or sex, or all of that. That happens every single day, but it never does happen to Spider-Man. No. You still don't believe me that real people stink? All right, let's get more personal. Picture your favorite movie hero. Got it? Okay. Now look around the room. Are any of these people as good as your favorite hero? No, they're not. Okay? Now look back at me. I'm a high school teacher who just told you that the kids sitting next to you pretty much suck. Well, that means that I suck, and compared to Professor Dumbledore or Professor X, I really, really do. Why? Because I'm real, and real just isn't as good as fiction. See, fictional heroes aren't better merely because they have a higher success rate. They're also better because they raise the moral bar. And we real people, we need that, because if our real heroes set the bar here, most of us will make it to about here. But if our fictional heroes raise the bar to here, some of us are going to make it all the way up here. And that's the way the world gets better. Deadpool and heroes directed by Zack Snyder aside, fictional heroes remain ethical, do the right things, never give up. And we real people, we need these incorruptible beacons to show us the way to a better tomorrow. Okay, now, raise your hand if you're familiar with the movie Rudy. All right, a lot of people. It's one of the greatest sports films of all time. For those of you that don't know, Rudy's about a real-life guy, Rudy Rudiger. and he wanted to play football for Notre Dame. He faced many obstacles, but eventually he plays, and spoiler alert, he sacks Georgia Tech's quarterback. It's a great story. Love the underdog. Well, I submit to you that the fictional version of Rudy is better than real-life Rudy. See, not only is the film very inaccurate, but in real life, Rudy was indicted on security fraud charges in 2011, having tricked honest, hardworking Americans out of their money, and he had to pay almost $500,000 in fines. So, you know, wow, what a hero. Okay. So I don't want you to get depressed, but it's a great opportunity here. Let your fictional heroes inspire you to greatness. Become the hero you want to be. Or as Gandhi, a real-life hero, once said, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Because although reality sucks today, tomorrow doesn't have to. We can change it. Fictional heroes are better, but listen up. The future, my friends, the future is still fiction, and it doesn't have to be Orwellian. The good news is that if enough of us follow the example set by our fictional heroes, we can achieve the heroic glory that today is only possible in fiction. I have 5 seconds to spare. That's right.
Thank you, Timmy. Okay, you know why you like Deadpool so much? Because he keeps it real, right? And you mentioned Gandhi. I like that you sum up superheroes with a real hero. So this is about real heroes. Imagine your favorite superhero. Picture them right now if you would. Think of their most appealing power. Think of how they beat their most difficult opponent and how they managed to pull off that come-from-behind win to once again save humanity. And vast crowds of people cheering them on, being all, wow, they're so amazing. And it's a bird. It's a plane. It's alive. Right? Superheroes are not real, and they're not really all that brave. If you're invincible to any bullet, laser, or whatever other kind of evil bad guy weapon they can come up with, can we honestly say that you're brave? Really? There's no risk to you. No, you're not. That's not brave. It's the equivalent of calling someone brave because they survived cafeteria food, or complete a really hard level of a video game. It's just not brave. You show more bravery getting into the car with your friend who just barely got their driver's license, or eating at Chipotle after the recent E. coli outbreak. That's brave. Delicious, but brave. In reality, superheroes aren't coming to save you from anything except momentary boredom, my friends. We might not like it, but in a real crisis, we're not going to get pulled to safety or rescued by a heavy dose of fantasy. Only real heroes, the ones who actually are sitting around you, are going to do that. So like firemen. They're going to put out the fire, extract you from the car crash, revive you with the paddles, race you to the hospital, and save your cat. And they deserve more credit for no other reason than they are both flammable and mortal when they do this. That's some real honest-to-goodness heroing right there. Or what about someone like Malala Yousafzai, the 11-year-old Muslim girl, 11 by the way, who was told by the Taliban that she couldn't go to school. But she went to school anyway and inspired so many other girls to do so that the Taliban said, you know, we need to kill her. And they shot her in the face. She survived, woke up and asked, when can I go to school? Now, even though there was a standing death threat against her, she travels the globe repeating the exact same message that got her shot in the face. And that, my friends, is again some real-life superhero acting right there. So don't get me wrong, I love superheroes. I have an extensive superhero t-shirt collection. It's exciting, and it's why we go and spend millions of dollars to see movies, to the tune of $20 billion in movie tickets for Marvel movies alone, not including toys, video games, and Halloween costumes. And I get it, that you're probably not going to be rocking a Malala costume on Halloween. It's okay, see? But, as a society, we'd be better served to be focusing on the people who are doing amazing things in real life, things that put them at risk on a daily basis. Everyday heroes that we just don't give enough credit to. People like, not just Malala, but Rosa Parks, Nelson Mandela, the entire Best Buddies program here at Libertyville, the Black Hawk goalie Scott Darling bought a month of hotel for a homeless man to get him help back on his feet, Gandhi, that teacher in Connecticut who died saving her students from a crazed gunman, the man who stood in front of tanks in Tiananmen Square, anyone who donates organs, anyone who donates blood, or go to fight in a war and then come home and fight to survive on a normal basis, foster parents, adoptive parents, people with depression get up every day, and maybe even you fighting your fight and inspiring all the people around you every single day. Also, Ben and Jerry, the person who invented summer vacation, and teachers who refuse to give homework over spring break. In some way. Well, maybe not the last three, but you get it. I bet you can add all kinds of lists of heroes here. For me, my dad. For you, whoever that might be. These people get it done, take real risks, help people, and inspire people every single day. So stop looking up in the sky for imaginary heroes who are never going to come and save you. And look to the streets for real heroes. Or maybe you can be one of those. Thank you.
All right, last time. Is it Mr. Schmidt? Or Mr. McCusker? Mr. McCusker it is! Nice battle, guys.
So I believe the English department lost every bout. Pretty sweet. I'm feeling really good about this.